Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Clever Techie, and in this video we're gonna learn PHP regular expressions. Okay, so this is a cheat sheet that I've created here, and I'm gonna refer to it throughout this video. And if you guys want to download a full resolution of this image, I've included a link in the description of this video, so if you like to download it, go ahead and do so. Okay, so first of all, let's go to a website called regex101.com. And this is an awesome website that I've just discovered where you can practice regular expressions. And regular expressions, you can think of them as basically wildcards on steroids. So they're just patterns for matching a text. And it's really useful if you're a web developer and if you want to match some content on websites. You can easily do so with regular expressions, as well as matching any other content at all. So for the test string, I've included this test string in the description of this video as well, and this is just a bunch of text that I found where we can use this text to practice using regular expressions on. So I'm just going to refer to this cheat sheet, and we're going to go over some of these quantifiers, character classes, groups and ranges, meta characters, as well as flags. So we're going to go over all this stuff, and I'm going to explain what most of these things mean. So let's go ahead and get started here. Okay, so the dot matches any character. So if we simply put dot here, it's going to match all the characters on here. And if I put star, it's gonna match all the thing together. So basically what the star is just 0 or more. So in this case, if we put any character followed by the 0 or more, this is something that matches basically all the content. So if you have a website or any other content, placing a dot and a star will match anything. And you've probably seen something like this, which is a wildcard, dot and a star followed by the txt. For example, when if I open up a notepad here and I go to File, Open, you're gonna see down here in the text documents, this is the exact regular expression that's down here, which is a star and a dot followed by the txt, which means it's gonna match all the files with extension .txt. And there's another one down here which basically says match any extension at all, and the star is exactly what that means, match anything. So alright, so that's how you match anything. And let's see here. Okay, so plus just means one or more, so there has to be something to be matched, whereas star, it can match nothing or more. Then the question mark is when things get a little interesting. Okay, so let me show you the difference between the two. So if I wanted to match these strong tags, like for example, if you have content on a website and for some reason you want to match all the HTML tags, here is what you might do. You might want to do this, right? So this is what is called a greedy quantifier, because what it will do here is it will start with a literal opening angle bracket here, and then you will what you're doing is basically you're expecting to match all the content, and then basically you're trying to match this strong tag here, but instead this thing is greedy, so it's gonna go ahead and match all the thing until it sees the ending angle bracket here. And that's why it's called greedy, because it'll consume all the content in between these this angle bracket and this angle bracket here. And if you wanted to make it lazy, you would simply put a question mark here. So now you can see that it's matching the HTML tags like we wanted them to, and it's also doing that here. So that's the difference between greedy and lazy matching, or greedy and lazy quantifier. And that's what the question mark does. And usually I always use dot star followed by the question mark to make it non-greedy. But there are cases where you do want to use the greedy one as well. Okay, let's go ahead and continue here. All right, so X, if you put the X, if you put the number inside the curly brackets, that will mean match it exactly this many times. And if you put a number followed by the comma, you can say X or more times. And then you can also have between X and Y, which is X and then comma Y. So you can say 1 to comma 5, and that will match any digit between 1 and 5. So just to give you an example here, let's go back here. And okay, so if I wanted to match a digit which is 3, which is basically a 3-digit number. So here I put a digit. So the \d matches a digit. If we go back here under character class, you'll see that for \digit is a digit character, and I follow that with the curly brackets 3, which matches exactly which matches the number or whatever exactly this many times. So this will match any 3-digit character, and this is exactly what it's doing here. It's matching all the 3-digit characters. Now, if you notice down here or on the right, you have regex options, and the global one is turned on. So the global one will basically match all the matches on our string. So if I just removed it, if I remove it, it's only going to match the first one, but we do want to match all of them, so we're going to turn the global one on. And if you see here under flags, I will also included the G, which is a modifier, or you can call it a flag, which will match all the matches that are found. And it'll keep going until it matches all of them. Alright, so this is how we match a digit, and if we wanted a number between, for example, 1 and 3, you can also do that. It'll match all the numbers between 1 and 3, and that's how we do that. Or we can say 1 or more. That will match all the numbers between because they all start with 1. And if we did something like this, 5 or more, it'll match all the numbers from 5 or more. And this counts as a one number here because it's not separated by the space or anything like that. Okay, let's move on here. White space characters, we just use a \s, and that will match all the white space characters here, and it's matching them right now. Then all the non-white space characters, which is a capital S, it's all the characters except the white space. And then all the digit characters, which we've already done, there will be \d. All the non-digit characters are matched with a capital D. And then there's word and non-word. This is the word, and the word will also match the numbers as well, but it will not match special characters and spaces, so keep that in mind. And then all the reverse of that is a non-word character, which is all the special characters and spaces. Okay, so next one is groups and ranges. So we're gonna go over a few of those. Okay, so we already know what the any character means, which is a dot will match anything. And then if we put characters inside the round brackets and then separate them by the, I don't know what this character is called, but it's just let's call it a stick right now. I'm not sure what it's called. Hold on. Okay, well, let's just call it a separator. Oh, an alternator at this position effectively truncates the entire pattern. Okay, so I guess, okay, an alternator. It's called an alternator. Okay, so if we had something like this here, A or B, A alternator, B. So it just means or. So as you can see, it's matching B and A, or A and B, A or B, and it's matching all of them here. Okay, that's cool. That's exactly what we wanted. Okay, if we do A, B, or C, they'll match all the A, B, and C. So you can use that as if you wanted to match, for example, hello or world, you can do so. It'll match hello and world. You can match the whole words as well as just characters. Okay, that makes sense. Next one is match single character that is A or B or C. So inside the square brackets, it's called a character class. So if we had this and we wanted to match some of the numbers here, this is how we list them. So this will list, this will match all these characters that are inside the character class inside the square brackets here. Next, we can have a negative range. So if we put a little caret here inside the square brackets, it will match everything besides those characters that are inside the square brackets. And it will come really useful as we start parsing some website content later on. Okay, so next one is a range, and the range will do exactly what it says. It'll match all the range between A and Z. So that's why it's matching all the letters here. We can also capitalize that, and they'll match all the capital letters which we have here. That's exactly what it's doing, and it's matching some other letters that capital letters that we have throughout this test string. Okay, so next, okay, so the digits, we can put 0 through 9. Close the character class, and they'll match all the digits. We can test it out and see if it matches 0 through 3, and that's exactly what it's doing here. Okay, so next is the meta characters, which must be escaped. So if you're gonna be using any of these characters and you're gonna want to if you're gonna want to match any of these, there have to be escape with a backslash. So for example, if I wanted to match a $, I would have to escape the $, with a backslash. So that's exactly what it's doing here, because otherwise it's a special character. For example, the $, is indicates the end of the string here, and if you wanted to match the round brackets, for example, we'll also have to escape that as well, because round brackets, okay, so I haven't gone over the round brackets yet. So what the round brackets mean is basically we capture our match. So you can see here, if I roll over the mouse cursor over the hello word, it's saying group 1. So that's how we capture it in group 1, and it's showing it here. If we wanted to capture another group, we would create another round bracket and capture that as well. Now the world will be in capturing group 2, which is exactly what it's saying here, and etc. So the more you use round brackets, the more capturing groups you're gonna have, and this will make more sense as we actually start programming and designing the script in PHP. The groups that are matched will actually be stored inside of an array, and they'll make more sense later on. So you guys can play around with this. Make sure to download this cheat sheet and just go ahead and play around with this text and see if you can do some unique matches, and just start getting used to using these regular expressions to match whatever you want. And make sure to check out the next video where we're going to be doing something practical. We're actually going to be matching, let me show you here. If I copy this URL here, we're going to go over some of these. We're going to go to imdb.com, which is a movie review site, and we're going to match all these movies along with their names, reviews, description, all the stars and directors, and we're going to match all of that using regular expressions. And then later on, we're also going to save that all in a database and display it in our own website. Okay, I hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Clever Techie out.